All right, let's just dive right in. We are living through this absolutely massive economic shift, and it's all about AI. But, there's a huge contradiction right at the heart of it all that frankly doesn't seem to add up. So let's unpack that. And here it is. This is the core paradox. On one hand, you see headlines everywhere about massive layoffs, thousands of people losing their jobs. But on the other hand, those exact same industries are pouring staggering amounts of money, billions, into AI. It's a real head-scratcher, right? And look, we're not talking about a small-scale change here. This is over 35,000 tech jobs cut so far this year alone. And it's not even a secret why. Companies like Block and Oracle are being pretty open about it, saying they're restructuring around AI to boost productivity. Now try to hold that thought and look at this number. The biggest tech companies on the planet are on track to spend around $650 billion on AI infrastructure just this year. I mean, that's more than $500 billion. The scale of that is it's almost hard to wrap your head around. So all of this brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. If one group of people is facing job cuts while this unbelievable amount of money is being invested, then who is actually getting rich from this AI revolution? Because history tells us someone always does. Well, to find the answer, you got to do what you always do. Follow the money. This is the new gold rush, the AI gold rush. And the prize this time is control over the foundational technology for the next century. So where is that $650 billion actually going? It's being pumped into building the absolute bedrock, the fundamental infrastructure for AI. We're talking about massive, and I mean massive, data centers, incredibly powerful and specialized computer chips, and the giant cloud networks you need to train and run these advanced models. And this quote right here, this says it all. It perfectly illustrates the mindset. For the people investing this money, AI isn't just another app or a cool new feature. To them, it is the foundation of the next economic era, just like electricity was or the internet was. This brings us to a classic idea that comes straight from the original gold rushes. You see, back then, the people who consistently got rich weren't the ones digging for gold. Nope, it was the merchants who sold them the picks, the shovels, and all the supplies. In today's AI gold rush, the picks and shovels are the companies building the chips, running the data centers, and providing the cloud platforms. They're selling the essential tools to everyone else who wants to strike it rich. And what's so fascinating about all this is that we've seen this exact pattern play out before. History gives us a really clear blueprint for who gets wealthy during these huge technological shifts. The single most important thing to understand is this. Technology doesn't actually destroy wealth. It just moves it around. It reallocates it from one group of people to another, but on a massive, massive scale. I mean, just look at this timeline. During the Industrial Revolution, who made the fortunes? The factory owners? Not so much the workers. Fast forward to the internet boom in the 90s. It was the founders and the early investors who saw their wealth explode. The pattern is crystal clear. Which, of course, brings us to today's AI revolution and that big question mark. So let's answer it. Who owns the future? Let's actually identify the winners in this brand new AI economy. Okay, so it pretty much boils down to three distinct groups. First up, you have the builders. These are the brilliant engineers and entrepreneurs who are actually creating the new AI platforms. Then you have the investors, the venture capitalists and shareholders who are putting up the billions to build all that infrastructure. And third, and this is the most important one, you have the owners, the founders and the shareholders who ultimately control that core technology. And if you want to see it visually, this chart just lays it all out. A pretty small slice of the new economic value goes to the people who just use the technology. A bigger piece goes to the people who work with the technology. But the overwhelming, massive majority, it flows to the owners of that technology. So this is where the conversation turns to you, to all of us. This isn't just some abstract thing about billionaires and tech giants. This shift affects everyone. And it's absolutely crucial to understand your own position, your stake in this new game. And the distinction is just incredibly sharp. A technology user, well, they just interact with AI tools. They use them for work, for fun, whatever. But a technology owner, they hold a real stake in the infrastructure behind those tools. They own a piece of the picks and shovels that power the whole system. So as this AI revolution completely redirects wealth on a global scale, it really leaves us all with one powerful question. The difference between those who get ahead and those who get left behind might just come down to this. Are you going to be a user, or are you going to find a way to be an owner? Because if history is any guide at all, that choice could define who gets rich in the next generation.